Welcome back to the YouTube. My name is Matt Eagle. If you don't know who I am, I run the Eagle AI agency. Two things. I run an enterprise level agency for larger companies, and I have a team of 3,600 engineers, certified ISO, AWS, Google, whatever you need, fully certified. You can check that out at www.eagleagency.ai. But what I wanted to really cover was AI and the impact in sales. So I've had at least about 50 podcasts so far, and what I've noticed for a lot of folks that they don't understand that there's two ways of creating sales today. So one way is to continue to pound the pavement, cold call, email, LinkedIn, all manually. And so you're spending about 2 to 3 hours, maybe 4 hours a day, cold calling, email, and LinkedIn every single day. Now, I don't have to ask you this, but how do you feel doing that every single day for the last 5 years? I'll wait. You're exhausted. And a lot of you guys know that a lot of people are using automated systems. So there's a few things I want you to be, I just want to be very clear of. People accept automated messages if it's clear, concise, in their pain point and in their industry. So the people who are open to your service, even if it's an automated message, it's catered and really inside of their industry, they'll accept a message and book a meeting. For content, for newsletters, and for landing pages, and for CRM, right? I didn't even get into CRM just yet, but with cold calling, how long do you take to ensure that you're getting the right phone numbers to call people? If you're still just using Zoom Info, you're about 10 years behind. And then email, outbound campaigning on email. How long does it take you to copy and paste every single email to 100 people just in one day? How long does it take you to follow up with those messages, and how many of them fall through the crack? So the one thing I want to really just be very clear of is that AI is not going to take away the personal connection that you have with somebody or the personal conversation to be able to persuade, create, get people out of the status quo and sell your product or service or coaching. Sales is really a few things. It's identifying the right candidate or right ICP. It's being able to target the language to make sure that you're actually targeting a pain point that they actually would want your product. And then it's volume and consistency. So in sales, 99% of salespeople quit in the first year for a reason. It's a lot of hard work. And when you become a business owner, welcome to sales. Welcome to sales. So the idea is, even though you don't want to do sales, I just did a podcast this morning. They're like, oh, I don't think of myself as a salesperson. Well, you should actually own it, because that's the only thing that's going to drive revenue for you in the first place. So you better learn how to be a good salesperson, or you're just not going to make as much revenue as you should. And so if you're in sales and you're still doing it the old way, AI is evolving so quickly that in 2 years, you're just going to be a dinosaur compared to the people getting into the market. And so there's a few foundational things that AI can do for you. One of them is the initial touch. It's just saying hi or creating the connection. So now you can say, hey, are you, so-and-so's person, ICP, pain point? Is this something that you've been, dealing with? Open-ended question, and then starts a conversation. And you can have AI continue the conversation, book the meeting if you want, but if you don't trust AI enough, you can use the rest of it. You can do the rest of the conversation, okay? The second thing is the consistency and volume. So while you're sleeping, while you're eating, while you're hanging out with the kids or doing dinner, messages are being sent, requests are being sent. Third thing is your CRM system. Now, I know salespeople, I know business owners. How's your CRM doing? Not so good. I've looked at a lot of them. I've talked to a lot of people. I'm in their CRM. Doesn't look good. So CRM management is the number one issue why follow-ups fall through the crack. They're not up to speed. If you're still using Microsoft Office task list, you might as well just go back to 2013. So the biggest thing that you want to know is that you want to know who to follow up, who's interested, who's not interested, who's getting content, how much are they getting content, what's the data of open rate, what's the data on who actually sees it, what's the data of meetings booked, who's opting in, all of those things for inbound. It's inbound and outbound reach. If you're sales, it's just outbound, okay? You don't even know what inbound means. Most people don't even understand how inbound works. If you have a sales rep and you're like, man, I wish my calendar could be filled with the right people so I could talk to them and close, you don't even know how that looks, and it's a real thing. I've been a part of a lot of companies who have a great inbound strategy. So if you're a brand new business and you're like, man, I got a cold call today, I got to do all these things, there's an inbound strategy with content that can really help you out, okay? So the third thing is sequencing and scheduling. There are skills that you don't have to do every single day, whether it's updating your CRM, understanding what's on your calendar, what proposals should you be building. Proposals are built by AI anyways. Who should I be calling today? What targets do I have? What's the revenue generating activity today? What's not the revenue generating activity today? AI should take away all non-revenue generating activities for you so that you can actually have quality conversations and not be split mind or double minded about the conversation that you're having with the person to sell the actual product in the first place. The automation should be running initial touch points, sequences, data management, your CRM as well. Let's talk about email sequencing. Cold email outbound outreach is still the number one way to create business today. And depending on your business, right? If you're insurance or network marketing, sometimes outbound cold reach doesn't work on emails. I get it. Depending on the ICP, depending on who you're talking to, I know it works. Depending on your location and geographics and what's your territory, so on and so forth. But you should be having some type of outbound and email, whether it's current candidates, current contractors, current prospects, current customers, getting content to them weekly newsletters. Are you sending weekly newsletters of what's new? What are you doing? What's your next move? Are they reading something that's interesting? Are you building a relationship through follow-up? Are you engaging? Are you keeping your brand out there? Are you doing all of these things? Even if you're a regular sales rep, are you doing this? A lot of you guys have CRMs that don't have any automations attached to it. I worked for a recruiting firm that had the automation of how to find candidates. But what about all the account managers that had a cold call 150 times every single day, hoping that they could break a territory open? And if you're cold calling today, you know the issue with Google Voice. You can't get through to them. So what's next? You're trapped. So the idea is that you have to build a 60 to 90-day program to build organic outbound so you can get inbound, whether it's LinkedIn, email, or content. Content can happen anywhere. You do not need paid ads or paid SEO to do this when you're first starting a business, or if you want to start a business, or if you're a sales rep, you still want content going out every single day, if not every single week. But now you're like, oh man, I got to spend hours on a video. No, you don't. You spend 1 hour, make 6 videos, schedule all the videos, clip them up with Opus or Caption, and now you're getting consistent content out there every single day, building a pipeline. And now it will take about 60 to 90 days for people to connect and relate and then say, yeah, that's the person I'm talking to and want to talk with. But the idea is that you have to have that going out to get inbound opportunities or even have the thin threads happening in your business. Thin threads are not just coincidences. The guy who reaches out, hey man, I saw you, so and so. And then you can add in networking events, conferences, keynote speaking, and everything else added into that, which will just add to the fire. But a lot of people I talk to, the second they onboard somebody, their pipeline dips and goes away. Then they got to ramp back up, dips, goes away. What happens when you lose funding on that current client that said that they were going to get onboarded, no longer onboarded, and now your pipeline goes away? So what are we doing to ensure that the CRM's up to speed so we're following up with all the right people? All of our non-revenue generated activity is being taken care of by AI. You're focused on who's replying, who's interested. You're building content to ensure that people are following you and understanding your personality. They like you, all these things. How many times have you heard this? I only buy from people I like. Well, how do they know they like you off of one meeting? How about you build enough content so they get to like you over time? That's the idea of AI today, is to be able to build your own systems. Now, let's go back into, all right, so should I buy it or should I build it? Well, it's up to you. Do you want to spend $10,000 on a white label product that a 22-year-old built and is overselling and under delivering on the product? A lot of people I've talked to, they only use 40% of the actual capability of that tool because it doesn't fit the personality of their brand. So how do you build a system to allow you to fit the personality of your brand? So AI is built a few different ways. One of them is just with code, MCP connector, API connector, and that's it. So you have Codex, you have Cloud Code. And now you're able to then customize your tool sets. I have it all in my education system. I have 24 tool sets that you can leverage. You don't need all of them. If you have a budget of $250 a month, you need 4 tools, and LinkedIn, email, your CRM are all taken care of with your EA, your executive assistant, agent working through all of those 3 tools. And there's a lot of free MCP connectors, Google, Zapier, all of the things are completely free so that you can leverage webhooks and then be able to continue to build these connections. But the simple terms are, you just build it yourself so you can own it. You build it yourself so you can own it. In 2 years, you won't know what's white labeled. You would be spending tens of thousands of dollars to get AI implemented. And then you'll be stuck because now you don't even understand AI whatsoever. And the only thing holding you back is fear and maybe your ego. Fear is a part of ego. It's fear, desires, and attachments. And I think the fear is a big one because obviously in the news, AI is the enemy, which it's not. Just remember in 2000, they thought the world was going to end because computers came out. So you can either have an optimistic viewpoint of AI or you can have a pessimistic viewpoint of AI. Either way, AI is coming. And if you don't get up to speed with AI, you're going to have to spend the money to get it implemented anyways. In 2 years, if you don't have AI utilizing your pipeline and building enough customers, you have so many competitors doing it and reaching out to people so much faster and so much quicker and getting the conversations out to them sooner that you're going to miss the boat. And so I built this just to be able to build a mindset around AI in the sales process. So with my decade of sales experience, I've been able to learn how to build AI. I teach people how to do it as well within my course in a very cost-effective way. No retainers, no nothing, just education. I'm building a certification called the CAP certification that allows you to say I'm certified in prospecting tools within AI. And now what you can do in 60 to 90 days, you can have a continuous momentum of building connections with people who want your product or service. So if you want to connect, there's going to be a link below. It's called book.eagleagency.ai. If this is on Facebook or Instagram, just comment info below. And my team will be able to reach out to you, my team, meeting AI. Don't be surprised. But when you jump on the call, let's have a real conversation on how AI can impact your business and how we can get your business moving forward step by step.